Marley was dead, to begin with. There was no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Thus begins a novella published over 175 years ago, 179 years ago tomorrow, if I'm remembering correctly, December 19th. A Christmas Carol in prose, being a ghost story of Christmas, or as we know it today, a Christmas Carol. And over 175 years later, this story is being retold again and again and again. As of 2016, there were roughly 135 different versions. But there are at least 4 that are being broadcast or staged just this month, December 2022 alone. There's Jefferson Mays on Broadway. There's Dolly Parton's Smoky Mountain Christmas. The movie Spirited, starring Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, and a recent SNL sketch that will definitely not be showing in a church. But why does this story, with its classic depiction of Victorian London, with its rich cast of characters that exemplify the best and the worst that humanity has to offer, why does this resonate with us so deeply? How does Dickens so deftly interweave the intrigue of the supernatural and our primal fear of the unknown together with the celebration of one of the most sacred times of the year? What a great question. I have several hundred theories that I would like to share with you now.
Hey, excuse me, I thought there was going to be singing at the Sing.
He wants singing. All right, let's give him some singing. Please stand for our first audience carol. Oh, come all you faithful. Take your time. I have to get down to the piano.
Faithful, joyful and triumphant.
Now, the first name mentioned in this story, of course, is Jacob Marley's, but the plot of A Christmas Carol revolves around and hinges on the fate of one man, one of the most famous, or infamous, characters in all of Western literature. He's described like this.
He was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. The cold within him froze his old features, nipping his tipped nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his gating voice. He carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas.
Oh, speaking of Mr. Scrooge, this must be him. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Ah, humbug!
Christmas a humbug, sir. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do! Merry Christmas! What right have you to be merry? What reason do you have to be merry? You're poor enough.
He must know I'm a music director. Come then, what right do you have to be dismal? What reason do you have to be morose? You're rich enough. Don't be cross.
What else can I be when I live in a world such as fools as this? Merry Christmas! Out with Merry Christmas! What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly in his heart. Scavengers and sycophants and flatterers and fools, Pharisees and parasites and hypocrites and ghouls, calculating swindlers, prevaricating frauds, perpetrating evil as they roam the earth in hordes, feeding on their fellow man, reaping rich rewards, contaminating everything they see, corrupting honest men like me. Poppycock, balderdash, humbug, bah. I hate people. I hate people. People are despicable creatures, loathsome, inexplicable creatures, good for nothing, kickable creatures. I hate people. I abhor them. When I see indolent classes sitting on their indolent asses, gulping nail from indolent classes, I hate people. I detest them. I deplore them. Fools who have no money spend it, get in debt, then try to end it, beg me on their knees, befriend them, knowing I have cash to lend them. Soft-hearted me, hard-working me, clean living, thrifty, and kind as can be. I hate people, I loathe people, I despise and abominate people. Life is full of cretinous wretches, earning what their sweatiness fetches, empty minds whose pettiness stretches further than I can see. Little wonder I hate people, and I don't care if they hate me. Humbug!
Well, Mr. Scrooge, tell us how you really feel. Oh, I'm so sorry. Earlier, I neglected to announce that we will have a free will offering later on. Offering plate is in the back, and this will benefit both our Friends of Music Fund and also this year our community. You have something you want to say? Also, our community outreach team, and we choose this time because it is a time above all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. Mr. Scrooge, what shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
I get it. You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry at Christmas. I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I've already mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and increase the surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I don't know that.
But you might know it.
It's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mine occupies me constantly.
Mr. Scrooge.
Good afternoon.
Well, that is very unfortunate. I have to figure out what I'm doing here. I think now is a good time to segue to something more cheerful, yeah? So let's try our next audience carol. This is the 12 Days of Christmas. Oh, shoot. We don't have slides for this. I'm so sorry. I'll have to see if I remember the words. All 12 days, right? Okay, I think it starts with partridge in a pear tree, right? Okay, good, yeah. Thank you, choir. So, let's try this. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. There we go. 1 down, 11 to go. So the next day is turtle doves. Thank you, Joan. Yes, it's turtle doves. So the second day, so we have, on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge.
Ah, humbug!
Oh.
You can barely afford 1 day, let alone 12.
He's not wrong. All right, going back to the story. After Dickens sets the stage and introduces the main characters, Scrooge is first visited by the ghost of his old business partner, Jacob Marley. After Marley warns him, "You will be haunted by 3 spirits." The first spirit, the ghost of Christmas past, is described in specific detail that few adaptations are able to accurately portray, and Dickens describes it as this.
It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium which gave him the appearance of having receded from the view and being diminished to childlike proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. It wore a tunic of the purest white, and around its waist was bound a lustrous belt, the sheen of which was beautiful. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand and had its dress trimmed with summer flowers. But the strangest thing about it was that from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light by which all this was visible.
So Dickens writes this description, but how do you actually show that if you're going to make a movie? And accuracy notwithstanding, one of this story's most beloved adaptations features a cast of characters that Dickens would never have imagined.
Scrooge slipped into the empty silence of a dreamless sleep.
You know, look, I could break his tail falling out of this tree.
You want to see what's going on, don't you?
Yes.
Look, there's Scrooge's window.
You're just a child.
I can remember nearly 1900 years. I am the ghost of Christmas past.
What business has brought you here?
Your welfare.
A night's unbroken rest might aid my welfare.
Your salvation, then. Take heed. Come.
I beg your spirit, I am mortal, liable to fall.
A touch of my hand and you shall fly.
What are we doing?
Nothing.
What?
Oh, just hold on.
What?
Oh, watch out, Rizzo.
No.
The Ghost of Christmas Past then goes on to show Scrooge other scenes and characters from his childhood, his sister Fan, his old boss, Mr. Fezziwig, and his fiancée Belle. To sidestep Dickens' plot completely, however, what might the Ghost of Packanack Past show us? And Jen's going to pull up a slide right now that shows the Chancellor Choir way back in 1991. And give me a sec to teleport back to the back, and I'm going to play a clip from that same Sunday. Thank you, Janos, and I think this is a good time to segue to our next real, actual audience carol, O Christmas Tree. Please stand. O Christmas tree, think that's my fault. So have a seat. You can advance past these slides. There we go. Thank you, Jen. Now, when I was younger, I always confused the ghost of Christmas present with the Jolly Green Giant because both were tall and green and associated with food. Dickens initially portrays this ghost as jovial and effusive, and even though the first scene that he shows Scrooge is the infamously tragic setting of Bob Cratchit's house and his family, especially Tiny Tim, and despite their desperate poverty, they still find reason to celebrate the holiday together as a family, driving home the point that Scrooge, as rich as he is, has shunned relationships with others, familial or otherwise.
After they visit the Cratchits, the ghost of Christmas Present shows Scrooge Christmas being celebrated in the most unlikely places. A miner's cottage, a lighthouse, and even a ship at sea. Then they pivot to Scrooge's nephew Fred. His family is described as being musical. Drawing a connection back to Christmas Present here in Wayne, we have been blessed with our own share of musical families.
Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Gospels say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King is born today, and we will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. While shepherds watched their flocks by night, they saw a bright new shining star.
Let's remain seated for this and sing together God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
Christ our Savior was born on Christmas.
Christmas present starts to get a little bit sassy, and the tone of this story starts to get a little bit darker. And towards the end of this stave, or this section of Christmas Present, Dickens describes the following scene.
It was a long night, if it were only a night. But Scrooge had his doubts of this because the Christmas holidays appeared to be condensed into the space of time they passed together. It was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older. Scrooge had observed this change, but never spoke of it until they left a children's 12th night party, when looking at the spirit as they stood together in an open place, he noticed that his hair was gray.
Are these spirits' lives so short?
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark! The time is drawing near.
The chimes were ringing the 12:03 at that moment.
Forgive me if I'm not justified in what I ask, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw, for the flesh there is upon it. Look here.
From the foldings of its robe, it brought two children. They were a boy and a girl. Where graceful youth should have filled their features out, a stale and shriveled hand had pinched and twisted them and pulled them into shreds. Where angels might have sat enthroned, devils lurked and glared out menacing.
Spirit! Are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both and all of their degree, but most of all, beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, unless the writing be erased. And this is part of the story that we don't often think about when we think about Christmas Carol. And Scrooge makes a feeble attempt to inquire about these two kids, only to have the ghost of Christmas Present mock him with his own words. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? The bell tolls midnight, and the last spirit appears.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come. It was shrouded in a deep black garment which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand. But for this, it would have been difficult to detach its figure from the night and separate it from the darkness by which it was surrounded. He felt that it was tall and stately when it came beside him, and that its mysterious presence filled him with a solemn dread. He knew no more, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
The spirit answered not, but pointed onward with its hand.
You're about to show me shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit?
The upper portion of the garment was contracted for an instant in its folds, as if the spirit had inclined its head. That was the only answer it received.
Ghost of the future! I fear you more than any specter I've seen, but I know as your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me?
It gave him no reply. The hand was pointed straight before them.
This ghost of the future shows Scrooge scenes that baffle and disturb him, including the Cratchit family mourning the loss of Tiny Tim. They end up in a churchyard, and I wanted to connect this to another famous Christmas story with a pivotal graveyard scene, another example of how only one individual can make so much difference in the lives of others, or not.
Are you sure this is Bailey Park?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. All I know is this should be Bailey Park. But where are the houses?
We weren't here to build them. Your brother, Harry Bailey, broke through the ice and was drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
Clarence.
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
Oh, well, I can't...
I don't know how you know these things, but tell me, where is she? If you know where she is, tell me where my wife is.
I'm not supposed to tell.
Please, Clarence, tell me where she is.
Back to our story, as he approaches the gravestone, Scrooge finally begins to understand.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only?
Still the ghost pointed downward to the grave by which it stood.
Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends to which, if persevered in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me.
The spirit was immovable as ever. Scrooge crept towards it, trembling as he went, and following the finger read upon the stone of the neglected grave his own name, Ebenezer Scrooge.
No, Spirit! No, Spirit, hear me! I'm not the man that I was! I will not be the man I must have been but for this intercourse. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Assure me that I may yet change these shadows have before me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all here. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they have to teach. I have seen a future full of darkness, all the darkness of my heart. At my door a world in need of kindness. From man's kindness I departed. Oh, the hours and days and years I've wasted. Oh, the joy and love I've never tasted. Oh, the hours of the past replaced with something strange. Give me time to change. I can see a future full of beauty, and my spirit starts to fly. I can change the world, yes, it's my duty. God forgive me, let me try. I'll spend my fortune on the ones who need me. Go where kindness and my conscience lead me. Give my heart and soul to all. Godspeed me on my way. And to God I pray. Let the Spirit quicken within me, yesterday, tomorrow, and today.
Let the stars in the sky remind us of man's compassion. Let us love till we die, and God bless us everyone.
Let the stars stars in the sky remind us of man's compassion. Let us love till we die, and God bless us everyone. God bless us everyone.
And so, as we all know, the story has a happy ending. Thanks to the intervention of the Christmas spirits, Scrooge has a profound change of heart. He makes amends, gives Bob Cratchit a raise, becomes a second father to Tiny Tim, and Dickens ends the story like so.
It was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. The end.
This was before my time, but I'm told that a couple years ago, there was a man who played Scrooge in this church. And that man was John Shane, and we miss him very much. And I just want to let all of us know that we are dedicating this afternoon's performance to his memory. And the free will offering will be for, like I said before Scrooge interrupted me, Friends of Music and the community outreach team. And this year, it's so fulfilling to hear people singing live in this sanctuary after how many years of that not being allowed. And we also were able to have food, so please join us for that Christmas cookie reception in Simmons Hall, straight down the hallway, right after the show. And Pastor Yuli, did you want to talk about the Christmas Eve services?
And come back on Saturday for our Christmas Eve services. We have two. One at 5 p.m., and that's a little bit more light-hearted service, family-friendly service, and then we have another at 9 p.m. And of course, that is for all ages as well, but it's a little more serious and solemn. Both have the beautiful candle lighting and silent night at the end. So come and join us if you are able to.
Now for our finale, to honor the memory of our friend John, this is actually a duet that he and I sang both last year and in 2019. But this is a song called The Little Drummer Boy / Peace on Earth, originally performed by David Bowie and Bing Crosby.
They told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum.
Peace on
they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum,
can it be? Years from now, perhaps we'll see the day of glory, see the day when men of goodwill live in peace again.
So
Peace
to
on
honor
earth,
him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, when we come. Every child must be made aware. Every child must be made to care. Care enough for his fellow man, to give all the love that he can.
I pray my way
Baby,
too.
I
For my child and your child too. He'll see the day of glory. See the day when men of good will live in peace again.
He smiled at me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. He and my drum. Can it be?
Choir, please make your way down to this piano position. Thank you to so many people this afternoon. Thank you to you, the audience, for coming and joining us for a live in-person event. Thank you to the choir. Thank you to the bells. Thank you for Carmine leading us through Joy to the World. Thank you so much to Pastor Yuli and her family, especially Janos, for helping out in the beginning. Thank you to Steve and Karen for everyone who is setting up the cookie reception. Please join us for that afterwards. Thank you, Jen Kelly, for running the sound and running the slides. And thank you to our Scrooge, Joseph Perone. I'm going to scroll down very quickly through the rest of these slides. Please stand and join us for our audience carol finale. sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. God bless us, everyone. Merry Christmas and go eat cookies.